What's under the supply chain hood? Well, joining us today to speak about that, Gregg Lanyard, Director of Product Management at Manhattan Associates. Gregg, it's great to see you. Welcome.
Thanks, Russell. Appreciate being here.
That's a provocative title there, Gregg, talking about what's under this hood in the supply chain. What do we mean by that? Walk us through that.
Sure. I think we can all agree, Russell, that supply chain software is really the engine that drives most supply chains, right? Whether it's ERP or warehouse management or transportation management, just as some examples. What's under the hood matters, right? And in a world that we're living in, I think we can all agree that the theme that we're hearing a lot of this week has been about disruption and how do businesses and companies adapt, change, how can they be agile, right, to respond to such change. And again, what's under the hood matters. So if you have software that can adapt to that change, you're going to be in a much better position than those that do not.
Disruption is always an issue in the supply chain. Risk is always there. But as you're alluding to, it's been exacerbated in the last 18 months or so because of the pandemic, because of the lockdown, because it has changed consumer expectations, it has disrupted sourcing and transportation in one thing or another. Pretty much a comprehensive effect, one end of the supply chain to the other. How is software adapting to all of that?
That's right. So the easiest way to, I think about it without getting too technical is from a software perspective, we have lines and lines of code, right? And over time, it becomes a big ball of Play-Doh. Different colors, different features, different capabilities are all now part of that software, right? If you think about that, it becomes very hard to manage. It becomes hard to make changes. It's hard to build enhancements in that mindset because it impacts the testing, what code is going to change, how well it's going to work, right? It slows down the process. So the new way to think about it is if you think about Legos, right? Think about a bunch of blocks that work together, that are independent, they're identifiable, and they can easily be taken out or put back in or added to. And that is the new model, which we call microservices, that allow for a much more flexible, agile, adaptable software engine under the covers.
So what I'm hearing is this is not just a nice to have, but a must have. And I guess the follow-on question is, well, how many people are just talking about this versus the number who are actually implementing and employing the type of software that you're talking about?
So we think that it's definitely the future. It's the trend of the future to go that way. We've certainly invested heavily in that, and we are, in the position to provide that to the market today. However, it's a big investment for companies. It's a rewriting of all of the software that's, available in the market.
That leads to this question. Before one starts exploring, or certainly before one starts investing in solutions, isn't one advised to have some serious analysis of what your requirements and needs are?
Absolutely. And again, we know that most companies are going to need a portfolio of solutions to run their supply chain, right? And some may go for best of breed, some may look, in different places for their solutions. We certainly feel like you need a underlying architecture that's going to support change in the future. And I think everyone would agree that that's important. So having a microservices cloud native architecture is truly the future of software.
So if I come to you, because I don't really know this, my company is having some issues right now, but I don't quite understand the technology landscape. I'm going to ask you, why does this matter? School me, educate me. What are you going to tell me?
Because everybody who implements supply chain software has unique requirements, has enhancement requests, has the need for modification to the software, and what a microservices cloud native architecture provides is the ability to adapt as the business adapts. And it allows us as software providers to bring features and capabilities and enhancements and modifications or extensions to the software much faster. So you can now execute the way that you need to from a company perspective.
Greg, final question. Tell me, what is it that Manhattan Associates then is able to do and is doing for its clients? Walk us through that.
Sure. So one great example is the fact that we now have a warehouse management and transportation management platform solution that's based on this microservices-based architecture. We call it Manhattan Active Supply Chain. And it now removes the concept of having two different systems, having to build integration between systems, and having to have different versions of those systems. It's truly all in one platform solution. And that saves time, saves money, creates efficiency, and that's what we're now actually offering our customers in the supply chain execution space.
Terrific drill down into an important area. Greg, I know you're busy here at the conference, but you found the time to speak with us about this important topic. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Russell.
That was Greg Lanyard, Manhattan Associates, speaking with us today about what's under the supply chain hood, the right software that you need. Thanks for watching.